What's up guys, it's Gaz and welcome to another Warframe video. And today we have a lot of awesome Warframe stuff to talk about, guys. We've got all the stuff that's coming in the next update, this upcoming week, which is a big update called the New Blood. So let's actually go over those patch notes really quickly, guys. Or not really the patch notes, but what's coming in the update. We're going to go over that quickly. Then we're going to get into Melee 3.0 changes, which could be a good or a bad thing for most people. So let's start going over this stuff. First off, we're getting Grendel in update 26 called The Old Blood. And Grendel is pretty cool. Let's watch his profile really quickly. Let's watch it at double speed.
Feasting on enemies like his own personal buffet. His hunger for battle is primal. This is Grendel, the Devourer, the Insatiable. Feast.
He looks awesome.
And stores it in Grendel's gut. The more enemies held, the more energy consumed. Had enough? Evacuate the contents contained within with deadly effect.
Okay.
Nourish consumes the first stored enemy, providing a radio buff to Grendel and nearby allies. Regurgitate violently expels a bile-soaked enemy from Grendel's gut, turning the unfortunate creature into a toxic projectile. Revenge is like a rolling stone. Pulverize, curls Grendel into
Why is it not called Meatball? Like, seriously?
Jumping and impacting the ground, clears the immediate area with a damaging burst.
I don't know about that one. It looks interesting. What is... He gets like an energy buff by eating enemies? So this guy's coming with the next update, guys, and a lot of people are excited about him, but me personally, like, he needs to prove himself.
The more energy consumed. Had enough? The effect.
It is Nourish is the one I'm interested in here. Okay, so he can give armor, damage, and energy buffs, it looks like. Okay, interesting. We'll see about Grendel. He's coming next update, guys. His passive, each enemy consumed grants bonus armor. So he's going to have a lot of armor, it looks like. Should be interesting. He heals... he gives a nearby squad members the radial buff. Okay, so he gives a team armor, damage, and energy buff somehow with his eating ability. Alright, there's also the Kuva Liches coming. So we've got the Kuva Lich right here. He's got Ogress. So there's going to be a special version of this Kuva Ogress if you were to fight this guy specifically, and it's going to apparently drop for you. There's conflicting reports if that gives mastery or not. We'll see. I was told no, but then I was also told yes today, so I'm not sure if that's changed. Another big thing coming in this update, guys, melee changes. So we're getting Phase 2 of melee changes, which basically means they're changing the mods. Lots of other stuff is getting changed, like animations, how combos work. We will be going over that in this video, but that's going to be after the initial patch notes. We're going to go in a deep dive and go over the entire dev workshop. Heavy attacks are added for all melees. These attacks are slower but deal a mighty punch. String them together with your default melee attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Mid-air melee attacks work in the air, so now you can live out the gravity-defying ninja combat dreams. Lift and juggle. Certain melee attacks now lift enemies into the air, leaving them exposed for follow-ups. Attack them in mid-air to keep them juggled and trapped in a world of pain. Combo system receives a wide variety of changes, including more intuitive combos for melee stances, a combo counter rework, and smoother combo transitions to keep you your flow going. Melee rebalancing. So like lots of the melees are getting their stats changed, so we don't know those right now, so we will learn more about those in the future. A return of manual blocking in melee state. We'll go over that in the dev workshop. Vauban and Ember are getting reworks. I've gone over all their abilities on stream, and they both look like they'll be pretty good. So, Ember is becoming tankier with her too. She's going to get like 50% damage reduction at base, so that's not even like with strength into effect. So we'll see what happens when she finally comes out. Vauban's going to have a lot of quality of life changes and some completely replaced abilities. So, looking good there. Got Titania Deluxe, which looks really nice, but she's not really my main frame that I'm playing all the time, so not really super interested in it, although it looks really, really good. I like the helmet a lot. And we got the Grendel collection, so this is his alternate helmet on the left, and then his Sayadana on the right. Not really sure if I'm a fan of it. The way that you farm for Grendel, guys, you have to have arbitrations unlocked, and you have to get Vitus Essence. So basically you buy his keys for Vitus Essence. This information is very fresh, so there was someone saying that there's a special mission for arbitrations you can taxi people to get Grendel, but I don't know. There's lots of weird information. I think it's just going to be normal arbitrations. Like, you get the Vitus Essence, you can buy keys to do his mission, but we'll find out when he comes out. It does not say here specifically. I want to say I might have set it up here. It does not say where you farm him here. But they did say that you're going to need arbitrations to do that. His weapon is called the Masseter. Choose their enemies with heavy blade. Looks really cool, actually. Oh yeah, so here's the thing I'm most excited for. Like honestly, like I'm excited for the Ember and the Vauban reworks and Grendel, but this Vampire Cavat right here, guys, that's the thing I'm most excited for. That's coming this update. So, a drinker of life, this Cavat prowls the plains upon dusk. Vesca includes 2 exclusive mods, Vampiric Bite and Transfusic Vampiric Bite. Allows her attacks to bypass armor and steal health for their master, while Transfusion allows her to sacrifice some of her health to raise her fallen master while in bleed out. Vesca Cavat. Okay, so I'm making a new Cavat right now. I got the DNA codes, and I'm working on it right now, guys, because it's you're gonna have to have a normal Cavat. And you're going to take it to the plains at night, and it has to get bitten by the Vampire Cavat, and it'll become your own Vampire Cavat. So, I'd say get that started right now, unless you want to infect one of your previous cats you already had. Like for me, I have a Smita and a Darza. I want to keep those around because they have lots of Forma on them, because I'm guaranteeing when it transforms into a Vampire Cavat, it will probably lose those Formas you already have on it. So, yeah, maybe get a new Cavat, get some DNA codes, and then you can get this third one that they're adding. And it looks really cool. Yeah, that's going to have Vampiric Bite and Transfusion. Okay, the second ability is called Transfusion, not Transfusion Vampiric Bite. Okay. Transfusion lets you sacrifice some of their health to revive you when you go down. So that's not super important, but I think this looks really cool. That's the main reason I'm excited about it. It looks really cool. And it just is basically looking like maybe a damage Cavat, like it attacks itself, like it can bypass armor, so it's probably going to be really bad, actually, reading what it does. I mean, it can revive you, that's kind of cool, I guess, but compared to the Smita, I mean, if I could just make the Smita look like this, I'd just use the Smita all the time, but I can't make the Smita look like this, probably. So, yep, moving on, we have the, just some armor sets, and they're also adding Exilus mods to primary weapon and secondary weapons. It's confirmed those are not going to have like reload speed or anything. They're going to only mods that are going to be in the Exilus slot on weapons, guys. There's going to be the like ammo mutation. There's going to be like ammo max, like ammo drum, like plus zoom mods, like nothing, like, recoil, that kind of stuff. Nothing that's going to increase damage or increase theoretical like TPS. So that's what's coming in the update. I'm surprised the Kuva Lich system's coming. I thought that was going to be like with Railjack. They're also adding this hidden blade thing on the right side. We'll go over that a little bit more once we go over the melee changes, guys. But basically, yeah, you're not going to really be using Covert Lethality anymore. Alright, that's going to be it with the update notes. Let's move on to the next part, which is the dev workshop for Melee 3.0. Because in this video, we'll be covering both halves of the stuff they showed today. So, let's get into it, guys. This is a really long one, so plunge your butts. Let me just say that. I'm probably going to run out of breath pretty soon here. Alright, let's start it off. So we got a new, here's some of the points right here that we're going to be going over. Introducing a new quick melee attack. Well, this is stuff they're not actually going over. Full VFX overhaul and elemental damage types. So if you have like bare minimum graphics settings like me, you're probably not going to even notice that part. Aim slam attacks instead of impacting directly below an airborne player. Okay, so you can the directional air slams. I don't think we have those right now. We might. I don't actually remember if we have directional air slams right now in the game, to be completely honest. But those are going to be in the game for sure once this melee part comes out, guys. I promise you. Alright, let's keep moving on. While selected changes are to be rolled back, yes, see below before you react. The rest of the system served as a good foundation for this much more expansive phase 2. By the way, the person who made this post is DE Bear. Thanks for making the post. Please bear in mind, these changes are not set in stone, and some aspects of the new melee changes will be tweaked during the Q&A process. These are some features being added on later. Alright, so let's go over it. The gameplay. Return of equipped melee and manual blocking. Let's go over that first, guys. There's some big mod changes. So they're adding... You can basically go, you hold the equip button, it goes from melee... It goes from gun mode to melee mode. And then you have an example from the dev stream right here.
Warframe's melee as it is now on live, you guys know that you can shoot your weapon, you can quickly go into melee mode, and then you can go back to your weapon. So this is staying, but we're also giving a 2-in-1 basically. If you hold weapon swap, bam, now you're in your melee mode. Manual blocking is yours again. You can aim glide with your melee weapon. It's all back, it's just a state change now. So it's the best of both worlds. So you'll have the ability to just go right back to your quick melee will still exist.
Okay. This is not super important to me.
Blocking and all the good stuff.
Or you
But
can hold
it's
to come
good
back
that it's
and
being
then you'll
changed
get your
back to
manual.
this because I preferred this to what we have right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really depends on what you want to do.
Because like sometimes
So
like
both
this
are
is a
back.
melee move, you
Channeling
know what
is
I mean?
gone though, and it's been replaced with something.
The thing that channeling's being replaced with, it will not be in this update, guys. So don't worry about that. Channeling's just going to be like nothing for a while. The crazy rage mode they showed, like double trigger, is not going to be in this update. So moving on, we're going to be going over blocking a little bit here. So the way that blocking is going to be in game is going to be changing. So now it's going to be blocking will prevent 100% of damage, and the angle, like how much stuff you can block with a specific weapon, will actually be determined by the weapon you're using. So, for example, here, Sylvan Aegis, a sword and shield weapon, is going to have a 70-degree angle of 100% blocking damage in front of you. So, like, you're looking at a heavy gunner, and there's like a lancer next to him also shooting you. In this example right here, the guy in the middle cannot damage him if he's using the Dark Dagger because it's a smaller angle. But with the Sylvan Aegis, this huge angle of enemies cannot shoot you. And I'm guessing Sword and Shield will have the widest angle of blocking, so 70 degrees is going to be the max, guys. And I'm not sure if the Dark Dagger will be the min, but it looks like 45 degrees might be the min, which is definitely a lot smaller. But 100% damage prevented is pretty good. So, yeah. Maybe take a look at like the Sigma Noctantis, Sylvan Aegis Prime. Might be pretty nice for getting some extra tank ability, because 100% damage prevented is really, really good. Since like you're not even going to die in the first place in most situations. Alright, moving on, we have dodge, cancel, and tactical dodging. So, one of the more older and larger complaints of the new melee system are animation locks. Completing a 7-step combo feels great, but the animation locks completely lock out the movements. Introducing 2 new ways to put more control in your hands. Dodge Cancel allows a player to activate a dodge at any time during a melee attack. Okay, let's just go over the video they have, guys.
Two types of
I could read
combo
this to you,
interrupts
but like
are coming
seeing it is more
using your
important.
dodge. So the first one is if you're just playing and you want to dodge right
I don't
away,
think
you
this
can
is
now
very
stop
important
melee
either, to be
animations
honest.
with your dodging. So that's completely new. So if you're doing a combo and then you're like, oh no, I want to stop that. That's
Maybe like
new.
some
That
animation
really
cancels
helps
or
with
something for
fluidity. It's
increased
kind of
DPS, I
crazy
don't know.
going from
We'll
dev
see.
to live right now. The difference.
Depending what happens to
And
a
the cool-
Redeemer, you might want to animation cancel to do the quick attacks. With the
Then the other one is
Oh, it's Master T. Sony.
and then the other thing is, if you block,
I've never
if you
done
block,
Plains Conservation
you can do
once.
tactical dodging. So this is dodging, but it's a way shorter distance. So instead of going a full roll, you just go a little
yeah,
bit.
like I don't really know, guys.
Because the
Usually
theory
the enemies
is
are
it's
just
more
dead
intuitive.
before
You
this
want
is
to be
even, like,
in
something
combat range if
thinking
you're
about it,
blocking. You're
to
blocking
be
something
honest.
close to you. Your tactical dodge will just cover less distance for you. Whereas,
But
like I
things
just said,
might be changing.
the first one goes way more.
Things might be changing.
Tactical dodge.
Tactical dodge, trademark.
Trademark
Wow.
tactical dodge.
All right, tactical dodge. Not really something that looks very important to me right now, so we're gonna move on. Stance changes, combos, and you. So basically, guys, the way I'm looking at this, they're making combos a lot easier to do, and the game's gonna feel more like an action game, like something like God of War or something like, as I said earlier, Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, whatever one you prefer. Basically, it's gonna feel like you have a lot less control of your character, maybe, but you're doing these like really good damage combos really easily. So if I was playing like God of War, I'd be like mashing the circle button on the PlayStation controller or whatever the combos are in the game. Basically, they're not hard maneuvers to do, but they're flashy looking, and they're hopefully going to do good damage. That's what I'm kind of thinking is going to be happening here. The game's just going to be having the melee definitely dumbed down a little bit, but maybe for the best, because a lot of the combos are just a pain in the butt to do for a lot of people. And animation locks are a thing. Like, that's definitely noticeable for some stances. So the new combos that you'll have access to, there'll be a forward plus melee combo, the forward combo. It's going to have movement with like 1 to 3 swings. Last attack in a sequence will loop seamlessly into the first. Okay, so that's good. That's like that's gonna be like your spam combo. It sounds like the forward plus melee one. This will be the second one after that. Is called the forward tactical combo. So forward plus block or aim and plus melee. This move is usually a distance closing opener. So distance closer, okay, bringing you closer to the enemy and getting you within range to continue a harder hitting string of attacks. So that will probably not do a lot of damage. The gap closer. The beginning or end of this combo can have a slam attack allowing you to control the enemy, and during the mid point of the combo, attacks will be larger and sweeping, allowing multiple enemies to be hit. Okay, so it made it sound like you don't want to be using this for damage, though, so maybe that sweeping thing's not going to be super useful. By the way, guys, there's lots of big mod changes we'll be going over in a couple minutes here, and they're really, really big mod changes. Hard hitting of excellence, a neutral combo, just spamming melee. So that's like no additional button presses. Hard-hitting, movement-free attack allows the player to destroy their target. Okay, so that is literally, you're not moving, you're just spamming in the enemy's face. Last attack will either have a knockdown effect or throw the enemy into the air and hold them there for more attacks if they did not finish the job. Okay. Neutral tactical combo. First hit will likely be a stronger thrust or throw of a weapon to increase the range. Further attacks will be harder hitting, and often finish with a ragdoll or either a lifting attack as opposed to a knockdown or a stagger. I do not like knockdowns, so that might be what I'm looking to do right there, the neutral tactical combo. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Lifting attacks are detailed in Section 7. Oh, great. Okay, we'll get to Section 7 eventually. There's also air combos and hovering air combos. I'm not going to really read what they have there because I don't think I'll ever be doing those. They don't seem any very different from what we've got going on right now, though, guys. Pro gamer move. Use the first opening attack in the forward tactical combo to close the distance of the target, then transition into a neutral combo, because we were just talking about that. I think it's going to be the neutral tactical combos with the main DPS one, guys. So block or aim plus melee. So they're adding smoother combo transition. So as we went over in the first one, the forward combo has a seamless, it's like a string of attacks you can just go into, and there's you can keep a level of mobility while attacking. Alright, combo counter rework. This is where we're getting into the stuff that's going to affect DPS, okay guys? This is where you should probably start paying attention. The combo counter will be getting a new functionality pass. Rather than just providing flat bonuses to damage, the combo counter will now also act as an expendable resource for new heavy-hitting combat, heavy attacks. Okay, so we knew this was going to be coming. This is probably what's going to be killing Blood Rush and maiming right here, guys. This will replace Chanling's key binding, and Section 7 below covers those changes. The counter will be increased in a more granular and rapid way and can be built by using melee attacks, blocking damage, radial damage from slam attacks, and hits from a thrown weapon, such as the glaive. Okay? I need more info on that. As an expendable resource, the combo counter will be easy to replenish, and the changes made should reflect how easy you can acquire and spend the combo counter resource. In addition, the heaviness of attacks will be measured. We'll have a measured difference on the amount of combo counter increases. Okay, that's important to know. As a general rule, lighter, smaller attacks will give lower additions to the combo than slower, heavy attacks. Swing for the fences. Okay, so that's good they already thought about that. They're like, okay, well, if you're doing a heavy attack, it's probably going to give you like 3 combo hits. Or like a easy mode slash, you just like slash them really quick, and maybe one-shot them is going to give you 1 combo hit, most likely. Side note, as a result of the new combo counter system, certain mods are changing, but there's also some mods that stats will remain untouched, such as body count, as it retains the same functionality. The mods that will see some changes are listed in Section 9. Okay, we are definitely going to have to go over that, guys, because those mod changes are huge. I'm going to briefly go over the slam attacks thing. The ragdoll effect on slam attacks is being removed, except for weapons like the jack tag, cough cough. However, it's being replaced with an effect that will push enemies back or knock them down, giving the player some breathing room and setting enemies up for follow-up attacks. Melee introduced the ragdoll effect, so it's the second item to be rolled back. They're rolling that back. The better way to rain down death from above. Okay, this is what the new thing they're adding. So you slam attack and the guy gets like basically Titania 2. It's like Titania has an ability where the enemy is like flying around in the air, and you can like hit them really easily. That's what's going to happen with slam attacks now, it looks like. So yeah, that's probably good, I guess. They'll definitely be easy to kill because they won't be able to attack you. Okay, they'll probably make the game really easy. I mean, it already is pretty easy. Placing channeling effects with heavy attacks and the lifted status. Lifted status effect, that's what it's called. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that stuff's not important. Heavy attacks, alt fire for melee. Heavy attacks can now occur at any time simply by pressing the alt fire button while you have an equipped melee or in your hand. The cost of all your combo counter affected by mods, so make sure to you lay down that hurt. Okay, I get it. What? Let's just watch this video that they have here.
I'm doing all incoming damage is being blocked. I'm just going to do a little Ember Blast there.
That looked pretty cool.
And you can see I'm at 7 with my combo counter. This is now a resource, so if I were to heavy attack this dude, he's going to get what we're calling the lifted status. So enemies go in the lifted status, and then you can juggle them, hit them, pull off more combos to really have more style. Prove it? No, I won't be proving. I won't be proving.
If they live,
If
they're open for more.
Yeah.
So you got to use a resource to do heavy attack. I'm wondering if slam attacks are actually going to do what they say right here. So are heavy attacks and slam attacks going to both share that? It seems like that's the case. They've been playing a lot of Devil May Cry, it looks like. Alright, moving on. We're into the actual damage stuff here, guys. This is weapon stats and mastery limits. With this new change, there's a broad sweeping review of melee weapons and how they function within the new system. Expect the following changes to all melee weapons across the board. So mastery rank changes, base damage changes, base range changes, mod and arcane channeling functionality. Okay, so that mod and arcane channeling functionality thing is a long time coming, because there's these like really useless melee arcanes that Hawk and Cetus sells. Like some of them are useless. Those are going to be basically even more useless. Hopefully they'll change them immediately and they'll do something new and cool. But yeah, base range is getting changed, guys, so we're going to see about that. They're actually going to be showing the range amount and like how many meters your like Skana, like for example, Skana in the dev video they showed was 2.5 meters. So, yeah, we're actually gonna get those numbers, which is nice because they're gonna be probably nerfing the base range on a lot of this stuff. Base range is being increased. Range mods are going to be nerfed. Okay, that is how that's going to be happening. Combo multiplier is also only applying to heavy attacks. Base damage on all melee weapons is significantly increased. Expect to see some big numbers. And then for mastery rank, this would be similar to primaries and secondaries, where the higher mastery rank, the better the weapon is. Here's the big mod changes, guys. Here's the like big meat of what's happening, in my opinion. Since the base damage of melee is being buffed, some notable mods are getting a balance and or functionality pass. Steve even literally said on the stream, guys, he's like, some stuff's getting buffed, some stuff's getting nerfed. It's just how it is. Some stuff is getting hardcore nerfed, and that's just how it is. Alright, let's keep going on. There's going to be nerfs in here. For full transparency, some of these nerfs are specific to these mods, but we felt they were necessary to truly allow Phase 2 to be treated as a new beginning for Melee. I'm just going to point this out, guys. They added some of these mods to make people do Melee because Melee used to suck. Melee used to be trash. That's why I added stuff like Condition Overload, Blood Rush, etc. Like things like that. Maiming Strike. They added those things because Melee used to suck, and they put these really strong mods in to make people use it. So when they start nerfing these things, it's completely their fault that it's this strong in the first place. I mean, they obviously make the game, but yeah. We're kind of suffering for it because like a lot of us put lots of resources into these builds. They're focused on these mods that they're probably just going to completely destroy. So let's go over what they're saying is happening to these. Amalgam Organ Shatter, so it currently affects critical damage and charge attacks. It's going to affect heavy attacks, because charge attacks are probably not going to exist anymore. I'm not sure about that one. Blood Rush. So here's the big one. This is the most important mod in all of Melee. One of the most important mods of all of Melee. Blood Rush will now scale differently, using a stacking multiplier based on the combo counter, raising X percentage per combo tier. Something much easier to achieve in Phase 2. We will provide the final percentage pending more testing. So they still are not sure how much crit it's going to give you. So here's the thing, guys. if it's going to be scaling on combo counter, I'm wondering if that's going to only work on heavy attacks, or if you're going to always have that crit bonus. Because there's potential it's not going to get totally killed. The way I'm reading this is that depending how high... It makes it seem like it's going to work exactly the same as it currently does. But, per combo counter tier, maybe it will give you a smaller bonus on light attacks, but a heavier bonus on heavy attacks. It's really hard to tell from this. Let me know what you guys think about Blood Rush specifically from these patch notes in the comments down below, because I'm not entirely sure on this one. They do say it's in the scale differently, but it's hard to say because they're saying it's going to be increased per combo counter tier. So we'll find out. Hopefully that's not completely murdered. I don't think it's going to stack with Maiming Strike anymore, but we'll see. Moving on. Next, really important mod. Conditioned Overload. Now stacks at a maximum of 3 status effects. Conditioned Overload is capped at 3 status effects, guys. However, damage is being increased from 60% to a higher percentage to balance the change. They are not giving us the final percentage because that would be too convenient for us to critique and pull apart. So, yeah. It currently stacks up to however many status effects are currently possible in the game. That is no longer going to be a thing, so Conditioned Overload builds should be easier to pull off at max damage. New max damage, because they're making it so it's a lot easier to pull off. So basically, you're going to be most likely modding for viral, or yeah, probably viral, and then you're going to throw maybe like a toxin and like a cold status affecting enemy or something like that. Like something that's really easy to pull off, like magnetic gas, very easy to mod for, on like a sentinel or something like that. And those effects usually apply to most enemies. So if they got full armor removal, that should be honestly perfectly fine. But yeah, probably less damage overall. And rip any weapon that... I mean, you can put this on most weapons, to be honest. But these two mod changes right here, guys, like one of my most powerful builds, the hybrid Blood Rush, Conditioned Overload, Redeemer Prime, that's probably not going to be a thing anymore. Yeah, because that thing really needed Blood Rush to get any kinds of crits. So the fact that this is getting changed in a big way is going to kind of suck. So yeah, those are the two big ones at the top. Let's keep moving on to these less important mods. Corrupt Charge adds a large amount to the combo counter, but significantly reduces the time it takes for the combo counter to drain. That sounds awful. Definitely does not sound like a good mod to use, Corrupt Charge. Covert Lethality is just being removed. You can't use Covert Lethality anymore. But they're adding that hidden blade thing, like from Assassin's Creed. Like we were talking about earlier, this thing, guys, is called the Parazon. That's going to be your new finisher weapon, apparently. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to one-shot level 9999 enemies without the Parazon. We don't even know how fully this is going to work, if you can even use it in mission, or if it's only against Kuva Liches. But basically, you can't... Rip Ivara going infinite. Rip Inaros having his pocket sand daggers combo. That stuff's not a thing anymore after Covert Lethality gets removed, guys. And we'll see what happens with that new Parazon. But yeah, rip that. Yeah, I mean, some daggers have like built-in finishers in the combos. We'll see what happens there, if those are still a thing. But it seems like Covert Lethality is just straight being removed. It says right here, it's being removed, so... Alright, next mod, Dispatch Overdrive. Increases player movement on a heavy attack hit. That sounds interesting. Definitely doesn't sound great, but sounds interesting. Enduring Affliction. Increases status chance on enemies suffering from the lifted status. Depending on what the number is, that could maybe be pretty good. Focus Energy. Adds electrical damage to an attack, as well as increasing combo counter... Okay, Focus Energy. That's a Nightmare mod, guys. That might be pretty good, actually. That sounds really strong. And definitely keep an eye out for Focused Energy, potentially being meta on some builds in the future. Focused Defense added an additional 20 degrees to a melee, to a weapon's blocking angle. That might be really strong on like a shield, since we know it's like 75 degrees, I believe it was. No, 70 degrees. So you had a 90-degree angle, it looks like, on your blocking radius on the swords and shields if you put on Focused Defense. So... Maybe it could be good for making someone tanky that's not normally tanky. Moving on, we're going to have Gladiator Set Mod adds a multiplier with a combo counter up to 60% for the whole sets. Okay, so Gladiator Mod Set is getting a multiplier. Okay, up to 60%. We'll see how that ends up working. I'm not entirely sure. Guardian Derision will add more combo counter for blocking hits. That's the one where if you block, it like taunts enemies. Potentially could be nice as a tank build I was looking to actually maybe make in the future. Killing Blow, pure unadulterated damage buff to heavy attacks. That currently works on channeling attacks, so we'll see about that. See if it's worth it. Probably not. Life Strike, heavy attacks now generate health. Great, that sounds great. Maiming Strike changes from an additive buff to a stacking buff, so it sounds like it's getting nerfed in a similar way to Blood Rush, but base functionality increased to a significant percentage of the old version to balance the change. Final percentage to come soon. So see, like the big hitter changes, guys, like our meta mods, they're not giving us the actual percentages on. And that makes it really hard to critique it, so it's like, if I had like a picture of the new Maiming Strike in front of me, it'd be like, okay, I know exactly what to say about this. But when they're making it very vague, and they're saying that the final percentage is coming soon, I can't really critique it, because I don't know how it's going to stack with heavy attacks, I don't know what's going to be happening with slide attacks. I need to have it like literally like I need to be playing it to actually say if it's bad or not. So from these changes though, it makes it sound like our current meta is going to be completely changed. So yeah, that's after we go over the rest of it, you'll definitely probably be on the same page as me on that. But going on every mod, Quickening increases melee speed but lowers the chance of generating combos on a hit or a block. The fact that it increases melee speed just flat now sounds pretty cool, but we'll see. We'll see if combo is like necessary or something in the future. Here's another really big change, guys. Reach and Prime Reach is getting a hardcore nerf from what it sounds like right here. Reach/Prime Reach will now increase range in a way that has been normalized. In the previous incarnation, long-range weapons were getting too much of a benefit, with short-range weapons barely receiving any increase at all. So the fact they're saying that long-range weapons were getting too much range before makes me think this is a really big nerf. Because they're like, oh, well, it was just too much before, so nerf. And they're like, but don't worry, it's normalized. I think it's going to be a huge nerf, guys. It's probably going to be like 3 meters or something like that for all weapons, which could be really good for low-range weapons if that's the actual change they end up going with. Like, Prime Reach gives like a full like 2.5, 3 meters across the board to any weapon. I mean, I could still see that being kind of cool, like for like a dagger or something. Not like you would really use daggers after this, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's getting hardcore nerf as well, guys. So moving on. Reflex Coil, increasing combo point efficiency when using heavy attacks. Yeah, whatever. Spring-Loaded Blade will now increase a maximum of 3 stacks of melee range. Spring-Loaded Blade will now proved. I'm like, what's proved? It's supposed to be provide. Okay, so you get stacks of Spring-Loaded Blade. That might be pretty good. I have that mod. That gives you more range. True Punishment will still increase critical chance, but has the chance to not build combo counter on a hit or a block. True Punishments. Let's remember exactly what that one is, actually. I think it is increased critical chance on channeling or something like that. True Punishments. Okay. Increased critical chance and minus channeling efficiency. So if that's just like flat critical chance increase, that could be kind of nice for some builds. We'll see. And last mod they're changing, guys, Weeping Wounds. Increased stash chance and stacking multiplier increased to 60% at max level. Okay, so they're increasing the number on there, but it's probably not going to be a very useful mod. We'll see. It's hard to say about this combo stuff, guys. We're just going to finish off these patch notes here. We have the exalted weapons changes. As expected, all melee-based exalted weapons will now receive the Phase 2 functionality treatment, getting access to the combo changes. For those of you who may have missed it, Wukong's exalted Iron Staff has already had its functionality implemented. So basically, if you played Wukong Prime and he used his stick attack, that's how like how old exalted weapons are going to be changed to, apparently. New arsenal changes. So like as I said, see, we don't have like a ton of stats right now. That from before that we got this stuff. Now we're getting all these stats right here, guys. We're getting the range, follow through, whatever that means. We're getting the combo duration stat on there, which is really nice. Blocking angle, slam radius, really good stuff to see here. And then here's the heavy attacks right here. They're showing comparatively, so we have a light attack doing about like 100 damage-ish, and the heavy attack's doing a 480 damage. So, yeah, maybe some like really strong weapons. Like this is just a Skana we're looking at right now. Maybe like a Grand Prime will have like 1,000 damage heavy attack. We'll see. Could potentially be pretty awesome, as long as it crits. Technical bits. So stuff about aim assist, not really interested in that, guys. And then here's the last channeling, aka the rage mode. It's not being added right now. Systems in a very special. We want to make sure it's a cool, not just a cool addition, but it has roots in the Warframe lore and the story behind it. So it's probably gonna have something to do with like Echoes of Umbra, guys. Maybe they're gonna combine Echoes of Umbra and like the Devil Trigger Rage mode together. That's my guess. But honestly, like I'm looking over all these changes, and they're not looking as terrible as I thought they would be. I like how they're making it easier to do the combos for people that just because like a lot of time I'll just spam melee. Like I'm not gonna do like the hold, wait. Like I'd rather either shoot the enemy with the gun and kill them instantly, or just like spam melee them down. That's how I play melee in this game, unless it's like a very specific weapon where I have to do the combos, which is a thing sometimes. I think that's good, but the things I actually care about, like the DPS changes and like the mod changes, it's really hard to say, guys. I know that the range is gonna get hardcore nerfs, so I'm not happy about that. I think that might actually ruin the fun for a lot of people. Specifically the range changes, because me personally, like I have things like the Techo that are strong weapons, but I'm never gonna use them because like it's just they're increasing the base range, so maybe it will feel better, but like it just doesn't feel good to me to like have to jump up in front of an enemy to damage them. Also, I have to like keep my combo going. I have to find another enemy, and like maybe the enemy, like them, they said they're trying to prevent animation locking, like we currently have, like lots of animation locking in the combos. So maybe that will be a thing. Like there's times you'll get like stuck in an animation chain and like you just can't move for a bit. So I'm hoping that gets removed. But yeah, I think that swords and shields might become really strong. So if you have the Sigma Octantis, maybe get a ribbon for it. It also did not mention anything in these patch notes about nerfing ribbons. They said they're making mod changes, and if you guys do remember, they said on a dev stream like a year ago, they said, well, we're not going to change the melee ribbons until we do the melee mod changes. So I think there's probably going to be some ribbon changes, guys. So be on the lookout for those. If you are like really just, if you haven't already gotten rid of your melee ribbons that you think are OP and are probably going to get nerfed, now is the time to do it. Because unless you're like feeling really risky and you want to be like, oh, well, they're not going to nerf them ever, I'd say it might be time to get rid of them, guys. Cut your losses, get your plat. Because they literally said we're not going to nerf them until the mod changes, and the mod changes are in the patch notes right here, coming next week. Hopefully, they said they really want to get next week, and that would be great, honestly. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about it. Like, what are you most excited for in this update? I'd say I'm most excited for the Vampire Kavat, but after I read what his abilities are, like during this video, I'm actually not as excited about it now. But we'll see. I kind of wish you could make like a hybrid breed Kavat. Like I could make it look like this, like a Vampire Kavat, but it would actually like have the Smita abilities. So, like that would be ideal for me because it looks really cool, but the Smita is just better. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. I mean, it's really the mod changes, guys. Like the other stuff is like great. Like sure, we get the lifted status effect, which is like nice. But that's not going to really change how I play the game. I'm just going to be using abilities to kill enemies most of the time. So yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll be streaming some Warframe on Twitch, getting some Forma blueprints, and whatever else. So yeah, talk to you guys next time. Peace.